Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Cookies. My name is Lindsay, and you have just happenstanced upon this show. It's about business, leadership, laughter, parenting, life, positivity, and tangents.
Lots of positivity.
Tangents. We go down a few rabbit holes. So I hope you enjoy that. If you want to help us go down these tangents and rabbit holes, come join us on Facebook and YouTube. Be in the comments. That's where we find most of our tangents, actually.
So excited.
So
excited.
Yes, today's show is sponsored by Rookie. Don't know what Rookie is? It's reputation management. It will help you stay in front of your prospects, leverage your reviews in a positive way, and there's automation, so you get your time back. Learn more at www.rookie.io. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Nolan. Nolan, right, already in the comments. First comment of the day. Nolan for the win. High five. There we go. So, hey, thank you guys for joining us. So, Lindsay, I've been lying to you.
You're lying.
I have lied to you. I've been lying to you.
That's
and I didn't even realize I was
appropriate.
lying to you till I just figured out what I just figured out.
Not kind.
I know. So this is actually the first time we're actually live on YouTube because
No, it's not. Really?
So yeah, so we've been recording onto YouTube, but this is the first time it's actually live onto YouTube, and I know that now because I didn't realize that I had not known about a toggle.
That's funny because when I go to YouTube, when we're on the show, there's a little live now.
Oh, if you go now, you'll definitely see the live now. Hi, sweet wife. How are you doing this morning?
Like any time that I've gotten on YouTube,
Oh, so it's showing up on your screen, it's just not showing up on my screen. Okay.
apparently I'm better. I'm cooler.
Well, hold on. Basically, for once, technology was not being nice to me; it was being more nice to you. Which I need that. I need technology
so
to be more
funny.
nice to you. You have the supercomputer, so
I do.
you know.
Yes.
But what I get now that I learned about this toggle, I can actually see the comments live as they come through on YouTube.
Oh.
So now, this is gonna be better. This is gonna be better.
You should go comment on YouTube and see if it works.
Dad, where are you on that? Amber, Nolan, need your help. Vic, what's up, brother? I got to see Vic yesterday. I got my Vic hug. Y'all just be jealous.
I am jealous.
You just be jealous of the Vic
He's
hug.
going to start charging now to pay for bringing positive into people's life because of you.
As he should. As he should. Do you know this guy's story? As he should. Absolutely. So, Nick, I know you're all asking, Nick, how did you see Vic? Oh, I'm so glad you asked.
We didn't ask.
Yes, you did. Yesterday, I get to spend time at the church with Pastor Keith and Pastor Josh during Pastor Keith's Mastermind. And when I tell you that I took notes. So I got the honor of sitting and eating lunch with both of these individuals who are very great. And I stopped eating. And if you know how much I like food, if I stop eating, just by the way, the food was Chipotle. It was Chipotle, Amber. It was Chipotle. Mm-hmm. Yep. I put the fork down. I pushed the food away and I took out my phone and I just started typing as fast as I could to keep up with the conversation.
Mm-hmm. Where was your iPad?
My iPad was sitting on the table, but I thought it would been. I didn't have time. It was just there was too much.
Just going so fast.
It was
just
just
happening
boom, boom,
so
boom, boom, boom.
fast.
It just I was gonna miss something important.
Mm-hmm.
But I did learn a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I did learn a lot, and one of the things that I think has really impacted the Kraft family is something that Pastor Keith started when they were kids, and Vic knows this because Vic actually works at the church, and so he's going to a bit more about this. And it's called the takeaway, and I was like, well, that's simple. I have takeaways. I always have takeaways. But what Josh was explaining is within his group text message, within the family group text message, if one of them shares an article or a book or something of that nature that's a quick read, Pastor Keith will say, great, what's your takeaway? You have 24 hours to get your takeaway. Well, that 24 hours is actually rolled into the church, and it's rolled into the Pastor Keith's other businesses, where if you have a meeting, if there is something that happens, then you have 24 hours to provide a takeaway. And it's actually written in their handbook. Like, this is a non-negotiable. But what that has done is that's created now, you're not just reading it to read it, you're being intentional about the time you're taking to read it or the time to watch or something of that nature. And then they want to know your takeaway. And the reason why this is important is if you know Pastor Keith's core values, one of them is close relationships. And how do I know how you operate is to start having you tell me, what are your takeaways? What did you take away from this? And that gives me insight to how you operate and how you're wired, which then allows me to have a close relationship with you. And when he said this, so Pastor Josh started it, Pastor Keith explained that aspect of it, I was floored. Like, I'm like, oh my goodness, that's how Pastor Keith knows so much about the people that are within his inner sphere. Because
and why and how they think.
there you go. That's how he knows how to connect with them, meet them where they're at. Is because he's constantly asking for feedback from the people that are close to him. And I was like, oh, well, that's great. That's great for business. And Pastor Josh was like, no. This started when I was a kid. This started when I was a baby. When we could first start to grasp this concept, that's when this was done. When something great would happen, what's your takeaway? When you did something bad and you had to be spanked or you had to be disciplined, what was your takeaway? Okay. No longer was it a one-way conversation. I'm the boss. I'm the parent. Here's what you do. It's great. Understand that you made a bad decision. We have to discipline you now. Now, what is your takeaway? How do we be better?
How do you respond? So I've actually asked my kids, like, okay, what did you get from all of this conversation, right? And they go to this topic that was like not part of the conversation, and their takeaway was like,
was what?
I don't even know an example, but like, did you see how Dad did this at dinner? And I'm like, that is not a takeaway. That is not what we were talking about in this conversation. I'm like, how do you teach them
again
to do that?
Again, this is when they can start to understand it.
At what age is that?
Well, I think it's different for every kid. Like, I can have that conversation with London very easily. London, you went A, B, C, D. We had to give you a spanking. What's your takeaway? And obviously they don't word it that way to their kids, right? Like Pastor Josh was explaining that, and this was great. So, hey, if you're a parent, if you're watching right now, Pastor Josh explained that your core values, which is how they measure their kids, right? It's so one, they don't measure their kids based on rules. They measure their kids based on core values. And the core values, what they've taught their kids is your core values are your superpowers. So when they have to go to discipline, when they have to, as we said on the show, is it a green decision or a red decision? They go, oh, well, is it a superhero decision or a villain decision? And Pastor Josh has daughters, and one of the girls really likes Ariel right now. So are you acting like Ariel or are you acting like Ursula? And when he said that was like, doom. Like, how often do we as parents talk in parent talk, right? But Pastor Josh has taken that now and go, no, how do I relate this to a kid? So with my girls, we're big Bluey. If you know this, if you watch this show, we watch Bluey, right? So with that, are you acting like Bluey or are you acting like Muffin?
Right.
And if you've watched the cartoon, you know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? Bluey is always trying to learn, always trying to grow, always trying to help, always trying to be like, is she perfect? No. But Muffin is always angry, always yelling, always throwing fits. She's the polar opposite of Bluey in that cartoon.
Right.
Now, does Muffin have some good qualities? Yes, at times, but that child has a lot more growing to do. And it's great that they have that because not that you get to label Muffin the bad kid, right? But you get to see how Bluey helps get Muffin up and gets her from that yelling and screaming point of view to, hey, let's do this together, right? So it's a very good character arc that they've given by introducing Muffin into that family. Mm-hmm. But how do you connect with kids? And I think parents don't even know that they need to word it that way. They're used to talk to them in parent talk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Thomas says he doesn't overcomplicate things, right? So he says you got spanked because of X, Y, and Z, so don't do it again. And I love how I like that. I love how we've tried to take that a step further in my family, though, of these are our core values. This is not how we act when we are trying
Correct.
to act like this. So it's helping them associate, oh, this behavior, it's not just bad, but it's because it doesn't help me be this.
So, and take that a step further, right? This is something else that they were talking about. It's not about you. It's how are you getting them to start making good decisions? Because if they're getting in the situation, and Thomas, yes, one, great that you explain that, because some parents will spank their kids and not even explain it, right? But eventually what will happen is if the kid knows that they do something wrong, they're going to get in trouble, they're going to start lying, right? Mm-hmm. So now, no, I'm disciplining you, right? You got your spank. Why did you get your spanking? Okay, good. Because a lot of times what we say is not always what they hear. You got a spanking because you lied to me. Well, no, and with whatever they said, like in their heads, that was real, right? So it's now of when I bring that back to core values of, okay, well, were you being honorable when you made that decision? No, you understand that as a child, I have your best interest at heart. 1, 2, and this was something that Pastor Key said. When was the last time you told your kids you're not perfect?
Actually, yesterday.
Yesterday? Oh, of course you do, Thomas. I'm just using you as example because you did that, right? I've worked with Thomas. I've watched him, right? So yes, I'm sure he rewards great behavior, but it's bad behavior, and that's it, right?
But even
the last word is explaining it. Parents don't do that. Parents don't do that. Mm-hmm. And as I say that, that's a very general comment, and you know what? I do apologize. Let me get my apology out. There are parents that don't know to do that. Not every parent doesn't do that. There are parents that don't know to do that, and those parents. That's true. There we go. Right, because I do it, you do it, Thomas does it. I know Taylor does it. Don't know. Right.
Yes, it is. Taylor, yes, it is. Do you have one too? What color do you have?
But there's a way to relate it to kids so they understand, right? Mm-hmm. And it's so funny because I never thought that, because Pastor Heath was talking about disciplining kids, and I went over my 5 steps of the push-ups, and a lot of the parents in there liked it, but then even Pastor Keela was like, okay, but how do you help them understand that the push-ups is to slow them down so they can comprehend, so they can be better, mm-hmm. right? And it segued to Pastor Keith going, when was the last time you told your kids you're not perfect? And I was like, because our kids, we're the disciplinarian. We drive the car. We provide them clothes. We provide their food. Like, we do everything for them. So just subconsciously,
and in their eyes, we always do it right.
We always do it right. So it's so funny. At dinner, I actually said that to London. I was like, London, daddy's not perfect, right? Like, you trying to be sneaky, daddy's done that before. That's how I know to look for it. She was like, oh, you're not perfect? I thought you knew everything. I said, no, baby, daddy doesn't know everything. That's why we have Google. That's why we have Alexa. Like daddy knows a lot of things, but daddy does not know everything. And the reason why I can catch you when you're trying to be sneaky is because daddy used to do it. She was like, oh.
Yes.
Did you really? And I did this at the dinner table. And I remember how big her eyes got, like, oh, that's how he always catches me.
That's why I can't get away with it.
like seriously. So it took it a step further. Like, hey, like, I get that you think you're being sneaky. I've done it. I've been there. I've done that. Mm-hmm. You want? I understand why. Here we go. Hear me, parents, on this. I understand why you made that decision. I understand why you thought that might have been a good idea. It's not that I'm perfect. It's that I've been there, I've done it, and I'm trying to save you. I'm trying to keep you from making the mistake that daddy made. Mm-hmm. Okay? I'm getting at your level. I'm speaking to you and you talk. I don't need you to be whatever bad superhero, bad supervillain you can think of that resonates with your kids. I need you to be the superhero. Why? Because I've been the supervillain. I made that mistake. And guess what? I had to get a spanking.
Yeah.
So I
got scars to prove it.
Wow.
Not the spankings,
wow.
but like being a supervillain,
Wow.
you know? I got scars.
That was a little.
Everybody's got scars.
Yeah,
Whether they're
yeah. Let's
physical,
definitely
emotional.
not. Let's. I don't know if
What?
I'd tell that to my kid. Like, I have the scars to prove it. That's a little dark.
But it's true.
I'm not saying you don't.
You get hurt and it creates a cut. And what happens when a cut heals? It's never going to be the same as before it was cut.
No, I get it. I just think that's a little dark for a 3-year-old.
Well, there aren't 3-year-old. Well, there might be 3-year-olds watching, but
Good morning, Thomas. Good morning, Aaron. Thank you for joining us this morning. So that was one of the. So here we go. Right during the mastermind, like everything I just told you,
Yes.
that was still at the lunch table. Like I haven't even got into the mastermind yet. Right.
I don't think we'll have time this show.
We're not going to have time. So here we go. Right. There should be a dark side episode every once in a while. You deserve every bit.
That's funny.
Oh my goodness, that's funny. I love it. I love you guys in the comments. So here we go. The next thing that they were talking about. So Pastor Josh was going into the way that Pastor Keith runs all the different companies that he owns. So yes, he runs the church, but he has his masterminds. He has other businesses, but he has different implementers or integrators running point on all these different businesses. And then he meets with the integrators. He doesn't actually meet with the actual teams, right? Because he's groomed them, correct grooming, into being the leaders that they need to be, right? If you go to Elevate Life, you've watched Pastor Josh completely just grow in his leadership ability over the last 5 years. You've seen it. You've seen it, right? But one of the things Pastor Josh was sharing was, Pastor Josh likes to text. So that was his way of communicating.
Right.
But he has people that are on his team that like to do phone calls. He has people on his team that like to do face-to-face. And he was talking to Pastor Keith and was like, I can't get these people to do it the way I want it. And Pastor Keith goes, no. You're the leader. Leadership is not them adjusting to you. It is you adjusting to them. Say it one more time. Leadership is not having your people adjust to you. Leadership is you adjusting to them. Now, within the church and the different businesses, there are non-negotiable core values. There are non-negotiable contracts that you sign that are in the employee handbook. And unlike other companies, that employee handbook is very much held accountable to, right? But when you have people that their communication is not text because of however they're wired, then that face-to-face matters. When you have people that don't communicate in text, because in text messages we know things get dropped, things get lost, meanings are not always the same, right? You could send me a text message and I read it as a positive, but you really meant it to be a negative, right? So this person wants a phone call. Like you have to meet. And it was so interesting because I look back, and Thomas, you will appreciate this. I look back at my military career. I look back at my W-2 career. I look back at being an insurance agent and going, how many people tried to get me into their box when if they would have just talked to me, I would have done exactly what they wanted, the way they wanted it the first time. But they were so regimented in their way, they didn't understand how to pivot and become a better leader. So not only does this happen in the office. Uh-oh, the boss is walking in. Oh, there she is. But all right, not only does this happen in the office, but this happens in the household.
Yes.
We talk about love languages, right? We talk about communication languages. How many people, how many people don't even know the way their spouse communicates? Not even love language. Doesn't even know how their spouse communicates. you're over here texting away, but their communication is a phone call. Their communication is face to face, right? Like it's opened up my mind. Like I'm elevating my life right now, just being in the room with these individuals of going, oh, I need to be more conscious about the people I'm doing life with, because if I want to have close relationships with them, I need to become more intentional about their communication styles.
Right.
Thomas, I do not remember LEAPS. So if you want to drop that acronym of what that spells out into the comments, I would greatly appreciate that. And Taylor, you're right. Leadership is not about you. It really isn't, but it is. Because as you grow as a leader, as you understand how to be a better leader, how to create more communication and more of those leadership traits, you then get to lead more people. So I will agree, but still disagree at the same time.
You can't do that. Like,
oh, I absolutely can. I can agree with part of it and then not agree with the second part of it. All right.
oh, funny.
That is Nick has so much more, but I'm trying not to talk this entire episode. Lindsay, you got anything? So Lindsay right now,
Yes.
I'm just going to open up the door for this.
I mean,
Lindsay right
let's
now,
just go
as
there.
Taylor, they're right now their hubs are on a camping trip,
Yes.
the Mighty Men camping trip.
Mm-hmm.
So right now you are playing single mom.
Yes, I am.
How is that going?
You know. Do you see these dark circles under my eyes? No.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's only been it's not even 24 hours. Well, wait, 24 hours right now. Yeah.
Ooh, that's really good.
Listen, emphasize, ask.
Ask questions.
Oh, ask questions.
And paraphrasing.
Paraphrasing.
That is really good. You want, as I'm reading it, I'm remembering that, but I've not thought of that in a long time. How often do we not do that though? And here we go, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you listen, maybe you empathize, maybe you ask questions, but how many times do you actually paraphrase back what you heard? Which brings me to another Pastor Keith, Pastor Josh moment. Are you ready for this? Here, let me find it real quick. Lindsay, I need you to talk.
Yes. Taylor, thank you so much for going over. They're going to go have a play date with my daughter at daycare today. So
Oh, fun.
she's super excited about that. Jamie told me about it because I'm actually getting to drop off my kids in the morning. So I drop off my son and then I take my daughter, which usually we divide and conquer. I take my son and my husband takes my daughter. So it's been interesting seeing the traffic that my husband has to drive in.
You have a little bit more grace for him now, don't you?
You know, I don't know how he does it.
What I heard you say was, did I get that right? Oh, Taylor, you're cracking up. All right, you ready? So here we go, right? And people don't hear what you say. They hear how they hear. Mm-hmm. Right? If you watched this show before, we always talk about how you see the world through your lens. You see
You have
actions.
your own filter.
You have your own filter.
You've gone through your own experiences and your own situations that have adjusted your own filter. Oh, and keep going. And so, like, I feel like we spend the rest of our lives fixing our filters.
Oh my God. Lindsay, that's literally the title of a book.
Yeah. Fix your filter.
Fix your filter. Like, seriously.
Because we do. We go through things that are bad. Like my son, he got his feelings hurt by a friend at school because the friend lied to him. And he, like, blatantly lied to him right in front of him. And I'm like, well, going through this talk with him, I'm like, this is like a whole big, we're going to talk about this on a different show. But, like, it was one of those, he now has a tint to his filter because that friend lied to him.
Right.
So it's, okay, well, pivot. We need to pivot.
Well, yeah.
We need to pivot because you just learned that not everybody thinks and acts like you do.
There you go.
So how is this going to affect, or how are you going to decide how you interact with friends now because of this? Is it going to change how you act or interact with people, or is it not?
Correct.
So,
But that's
fix
it
your
though,
filter.
right? I mean, seriously, pivot. I need a clip that I can just click real quick that will do that pivot scene right here on my dashboard. Can you find that for me? Can you find me that on YouTube or something so I can download it and use it completely illegally? No, I'm just kidding. But how often is that true? People don't hear what you say; they hear what they hear.
Yes.
And it's funny because I never thought of it that way. We've heard filters, we talk about filters, but when you're Pastor Keith and Pastor Josh, and you're speaking from the pulpit, and then you watch the questions come in afterwards, and Pastor Josh would be like, "I said this.
Right.
I said this right here. How did all these people hear this?"
Mm-hmm.
And
How?
And you got to think like these are people that have stages. These are people that have influence, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have this right with your spouse. Like, how many times have you said this to your spouse and they heard that?
Several times.
Several?
Several
upon several.
Several hundred. Let's see. It probably happens at least once a day, and we've been married.
No, like even yesterday, I think I'm helping. I'm putting the dishes away. I'm doing this.
You're
I'm doing
not.
that.
Just stop.
No, I was, right? Taylor, I want pivot socks tomorrow. Absolutely pivot socks. Yes. Okay.
Because Taylor is our guest tomorrow.
She is our guest tomorrow.
Yes.
What?
So anyway, you're helping in the kitchen.
Right.
You think you're helping.
And
Let's phrase that.
Amber
You think
and
you're
Amber.
helping.
No. I was helping. I was pulling the dishes off the table. I am trying to be more intentional about being a better household husband when I'm home.
Okay.
Okay. And it's actually your husband's fault.
You're welcome, Amber.
Completely your husband's fault. Goodness.
Because he's an amazing household husband.
He is a household husband. He put all the dishes and da-da-da. And I was like, okay.
Thank you, Grammy.
Yeah. So I'm doing this, and she's because of everything that was going on in the household, Amber said, "Don't touch this," but it was the tone that she said it in.
Mm-hmm.
It had a little growl to it, and as I walked by, I said, "Amber, you didn't have to growl at me. You could just said, hey, please don't touch that." She's like, "I didn't growl at you." I'm like, yeah, you did.
You heard it as a growl.
Oh no, Lindsay, if I were to replay this, Amber's tones, if you would definitely picked up on it. Okay. But I'm not ditching on my wife right now. I'm showing this, right? She did not feel that she growled. I heard a growl. I heard it through my filter as being her husband for almost 10 years. Okay. I know these different tones.
Yeah, he does that to me too, Amber.
I do. And this has been something that her and I have been talking through, because it even goes the other way. Like, sometimes I'll growl. You and I had this issue the other day.
We did, yes.
I thought I was not growling. You heard me growling at you.
He growled.
And this is the point. This is exactly it. You're hearing it through your filter, right? Exactly it. Nick was hearing it through his filter. I'm not pointing fingers here. I'm showing you a real life example at work and at home. And this was minute. This was minute, right? Take this and now go negative with it, or go, I don't want to hear this, or I don't want to see that, or I don't want to have this conversation, right? You hit this, and very quickly, this little, I heard it through my filter. People don't hear what they say, they hear how they hear. And because of that, it creates this little, and the next thing you know, it's a little scratch on that filter, and a little scratch, and the next thing you know, you can't hear anything, or everything that comes into you is negative, because your filter is so damaged that all you hear is the negative. I have met people that I've been like, you wonder what? I like your shoes. Guys or girls. It's always safe to compliment shoes. Just guys or girls, those are some cool shoes. Right? And I will literally get people who look at me and they will just immediately take it and go negative. Oh, but these are 5 years old. I don't care if they're 5 years old. I like your shoes.
Right.
Like just say,
They
hey,
can't just
thank
say
you.
thanks. Yeah, I'll
Right?
take. I accept that compliment.
There you go.
They always have to have that rebuttal that's like, let
Right?
me just put a twinge on that.
Nick is a growler. It's funny.
Yes.
So I was joking. My very first mastermind with Pastor Keith, I was joking. He's like, "Do you go by Nick or Nicholas?" I say, "Oh, I go by Nick because anyone who calls me Nicholas, that's normally a sales pitch." And he goes, "Nicholas is a very beautiful name. I'm going to call you Nicholas." And I was like, "Yes, sir, Pastor Keith. You do, yes, sir. Yep." And but what it did is it shifted my mindset.
It fixed your filter.
It fixed my filter. I had a negative mindset on my own name.
Did you hear that? He wants us to start calling him Nicholas.
Call me Nicholas. I want to hear it. I want to hear my name. And here's why. Here's why behind it. Because I had that negative stigma on my own name, how much was my own filter broken? Okay. How much was my own filter damaged? Hear me on this, people. People, you guys need to hear this. If I'm having this little thing that changed my own name so quickly, what is currently in your filter that you haven't even identified that is keeping that little bit of negative right there close to you? Right there close to you.
I don't even want to get the mirror out to see.
Oh, that's the hard one.
Right?
Because you have to fix yourself before you can start to lead. And girls, guys, you, the audience, I am constantly fixing myself right now. Like, I am in the grind right now of fixing Nick. Goodness gracious. It is.
You got lots of Band-Aids on?
Oh, I don't have Band-Aids. You want to know what? I almost feel like Moon Knight. Like, I should just be wrapped in zombie stuff right there, right? Like, I need the Moon Knight outfit. Like, I need insta heal.
Insta heal.
Yeah, are you not watching Moon Knight?
I have not watched Moon Knight. No.
Do not let your kids watch it.
I don't.
I'm letting you know right now, if you have not watched Moon Knight, you as an adult, you have the mentality to compute. Well, I hope you have the mentality to compute that.
Some of them.
But your kids do not need to be watching Moon Knight. Okay. And here's my why behind it. Not only is it a little dark, but we're talking about split multiple personality disorder throughout the series. And you do not need to be exposing your kids to this.
Right.
The latest episode was dark. Was very, very dark.
So do you want to hear why I'm not watching it?
Why?
I don't like to wait.
I don't like to
I've been
wait.
spoiled on binge watching seasons. I don't like to wait. Like, when I want to watch the next episode, I want it right now. I want to watch it when I want to watch it.
So you're going to wait till they all come out.
Yeah.
Like Angelina even raising her hand.
Yep.
Like, I want the episodes on my time.
It's my time.
My time.
Nope.
Not your time.
Here's the thing. So, did y'all watch Prison Break?
No.
Okay, I did. I loved Prison Break. And I watched it as they came out. Worst thing in my life because...
Worst thing in my life.
Because I couldn't... I'm like sitting on the edge of my seat of like, what's going to happen next? And yeah, I hated it. Hated it, but loved it at the same time. Yes, Game of Thrones. I binged that one, and I don't know how people got through a week without seeing that. Like, how did you do that? How did you do that?
Oh my goodness.
I know. Like, and I grew up in the time. Like, I am not that young where I don't know what it's like to. Like, I was there when Netflix first came out.
And they had nothing.
And Redbox first came out.
Oh, right. You get the DVD. You rent the DVD for a day.
Oh, yes.
No late fees. Oh, Game of Thrones. I still have not watched Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Is it good?
Yes.
Thomas, is it really that good?
He binged it. Of course it's good.
Oh my goodness, that is great. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna hop into the work day. Thank you guys for tuning in this morning. We love you guys. We love you guys in the comments. And now I actually have make sure I have all the comments live on YouTube as well. So thank you guys for joining us on Facebook and YouTube. If you are watching this podcast, come join us on Facebook and YouTube. We'd love to have you guys in the comments. This is how we know to pray for you. When you're in the comments and you're liking these videos, this is how we know to pray for you, okay? This is how we know that you guys are here with us. And honestly, that's one of the best things about this show is the fact that we get to interact with you as the audience.
And
so
we love
thank
hearing
you
your
guys.
opinions and your thoughts and chiming in, because it's like you're on the show every day with us. 'Cause
Right?
you are.
It's greatness. I love it. I love doing this show. Thank you, Lindsay, for allowing me to be on this show with you.
Absolutely.
There you go. You're welcome.
accept
Wait,
that.
is it thank you or is it you're
Thank you.
welcome?
You're welcome.
welcome.
Thank you, and you're welcome.
Thank you, and you're welcome. So we love you guys. Make sure, hey, it's Thursday. Where are you on your big three? Okay, if you fell a little behind yesterday and you still got to get number 2 done, get it done, get number 3 done. Why? Tomorrow's coming. I'm going to tell you to leave early. You know it. You know it. And why am I going to tell you to leave early? So you can pick up a book and invest into yourself. You want to know what? Is it Eric Thomas?
Eric Thomas.
Eric Thomas. Go listen to some Eric Thomas while you have some time by yourself. Go listen to some is it Jordan Peterson when you have some time by yourself. Go listen to some Dr. Billy Allsbrooks when you get some time by yourself. Go listen to some Pastor Keith and Pastor Josh when you have some time by yourself. Go listen to some other positive people that can pour some positive into your life. Okay? Because that's what's going to supercharge you. That's what's going to pull that energy into you so you can have your cup overflowing so you can pour into others.
Hey, go get in the Word. Go get in the Bible.
Read the Bible. You want to know what? It's so funny. I'm over here listening to Eric Thomas, and I'm like, hip hop preacher. I've never heard him quote scripture. Lo and behold, I'm watching one of his videos, and he tells the story of Ruth to this D1 football team, college football team. He's like, you guys don't get it. Ruth got it. And the guys are like, what do you mean? He's like, the grind.
Ruth?
Yeah, or like there's a whole book of Ruth because Ruth understood the grind. She committed to the grind, right? She committed to the person. She said, no, I'm not leaving you. I'm going to be better. No, I'm not leaving you. I'm going to do better. No, I'm not leaving you. We're going to do this together. Right? Whereas the other individual was spoken for in a couple sentences, and then you never hear about her again. And I'm sitting here, I'm racking my brain about it. I'm like, oh my goodness, I get it. I get it. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. And here's why. Here's why. 40 years, I did not understand the power of someone positively speaking into my life. I was so busy coaching. I was so busy pouring positive into others. I didn't realize how much positive I needed. And now, I found it. Ladies and gentlemen, I have found these people. When I tell you to go listen to these people, if you're watching me get supercharged, if you're watching my 1% come out, if you're watching me, my positive start just overflowing, it's because that's who I'm listening to. Pastor Keith, Pastor Josh, Eric Thomas, Jordan Peterson, Dr. Billy Allsbrooks, these other powerful positive speakers.
Do it when you work out. Like that's what I don't work out a whole lot, but when I do that, I listen to them because they pump me up.
There you go, right? And here we go. You don't just need to listen to these people while you're working out. You need to listen to these people while you're able to take notes. I have notes from these people. Pages of notes now.
Didn't know y'all were getting a part 2 on this show, did you?
Are you ready for this? I'm now understanding my own calling.
You are?
I am just now honestly figuring it out.
Man.
Y'all get ready for this. Y'all get ready for this. We love you guys.
And that's why I binge watch TV. He didn't even tell you what it was.
Love you guys. Hope you guys just have an amazing, amazing Thursday.
Yes.
You are loved. You are amazing and you are blessed. Make sure that you
Rise up.
crush it.
Bye, y'all.